Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Chris Collinsworth. And Chris, I don't care what anybody else on the staff has said. I think you look just excellent in that jacket.
Well, thank you. You did a great job designing them, Marv. I think you were terrific with that.
It's about time that I received some credit.
That's
wow. I wonder if any of those jackets are still in existence.
Somebody didn't like that jacket. I'm guessing it's Collinsworth. He was probably going, what? I got to put this on? Are you kidding me?
I wonder what would happen if you tried to burn one of those things. It'd be like a rubber fire.
Man, that's a lot of leather or pleather or whatever it is there.
Whatever that is.
That's an old
high-grade Naugahyde. I like the purple.
I do too. That's like, what year you think that is? I mean, that's old Giant Stadium, and that's a Jets game there. So that's
that's got 1992 just written all over it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna say maybe a little later and go like 95 or something like that. But yeah, you're right. It's somewhere in that range.
That's that weird cusp between the 80s and the 90s where everyone was kind of trapped between the two decades. I'd say 92.
Okay.
See if we can find that out. All right, Marv Albert is retiring after the NBA season, one of the all-time greats. So we've decided to draft today the best NFL announcer catchphrase. Chris, because you got the impromptu trivia question right earlier, the only Heisman winner to come from a team with a losing record, Paul Hornung, Notre Dame, you get the first pick in this draft.
It's very nice of you. Thank you very much. When I was growing up, Summerall and Madden that was life. And especially for a Giants football team in the 80s, I just felt like every Sunday I was listening to John Madden and Pat Summerall, and John Madden especially. His famous catchphrase is not even like English. That's the best part about it. Beam, bam, boom, ba. And this guy went here, and it's just a boom, boom, beam. It was amazing. It was the coolest thing ever. A guy that made no sense at all. It made sense and was awesome. It was awesome on TV. His handwriting and circles were absolutely pitiful and horrible, but it looked awesome and the delivery was great. So for me, that's as good as it gets growing up as a little kid, and even back now when I hear him, I'm always like, I perk up. Legend, for sure.
I think the word you're searching for is boom.
Yes.
I think that would be the catchphrase for Madden.
Right.
And what he combined the credibility of being a football guy, a coach, a guy who had been there and done that and knew how the sausage was made. But he had that infectious energy, and his approach to the game was inclusive. That's one of the things that some announcers will trip into. In order to impress others with their knowledge of the game, they alienate the average fan by making it seem more complicated than it is.
Right.
Madden went the other way.
He did.
He made it seem far more simple than it really is, which made you wonder, is it really a lot more simple than the people inside the bubble want us to think it is?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. And I think there's some that would probably go, to your point or that point, go, no, it's not. It's still about hitting, tackling, who's the most physical, all those type of things. You're right. But he kept it very elementary. And I know my Aunt Wendy, we talk about all the time. Yeah, that she'd be the person that loved John Madden and that type of stuff. Yeah, he wasn't getting into in cover 2, they're reading this slot receiver and all that. Yeah, 90% of the fans don't want to hear that crap. Don't even know what it means. It just doesn't matter. And he kept it good for all people watching, which was amazing.
And when I was a kid, it was Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire. If they had the game, it was necessarily a big game. That's how you knew. Because they're at the game that is the big game of the week. And then it became eventually Summerall and Madden. And, this was more of a college football dynamic. And I'm sorry that I'm going to deviate from the rules here. But he now does NFL games for the Las Vegas Raiders on radio. But there was nothing that got the goosebumps going, just that tingling sensation that this game is a big deal. Then hearing Brent Musburger say, "You are looking live." That was the message that the next 3 hours of your life will not be wasted, even if it ends up being a blowout. At the front end, you had a feeling that this was a big-time game, a special game, an important game. Settle in, get your popcorn, get your beverage of choice, and get ready to enjoy some football.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, I don't think you're cheating here. Yeah, I know he announced all the college games, but even again, growing up, he would kick it to the games, right, from NFL studios and CBS,
Yes.
and you just that voice there, we're going live, however he said it, right? I mean, yes.
You are looking live.
You're looking live.
You
You
are looking live.
I got the boom in before, too, with that.
Igbenogany.
It got, yeah, you're funny. And you're a jerk. All right, I really don't like you. All right, here we go.
Too late, you already said it.
All right, I'm going to go with Dick Enberg as my next one. I mean, again, I know I'm going back to my childhood, but legend. Like, oh, my? Oh, my. I mean, that was – I wish I could do his voice better. But, like, him – I could just remember watching NBC. It's like Broncos and Elway, AFC Championship Sunday, and Elway makes a great throw, and it's, oh, my, what a throw by John Elway. Like, that was just amazing. So – Dick Enberg just had like that silky smooth voice, an unbelievable delivery, the ultimate professional. And to me, oh my, is one of the great catchphrases in sports history.
It's funny. I had an inspiration there because the catchphrase has to be something that you use on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I heard Joe Buck saying that is a disgusting act when Randy Moss pretended to moon the crowd at Lambeau Field, but that was a one-time thing. It has to be something that you use on a regular basis, ideally every week. It reminds me of the great sitcoms when you just waited, for that one character with that one line to say, did I do that, or whatever it was. So that's the true catchphrase, and that's why my next one goes way back to my own youth, back in the glory days of Monday Night Football when it was Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, and Dandy Don Meredith. Because he knew when the game was over, his catchphrase was his song, Turn Out the Lights, the party's over. And it's funny because my guess is, like, initially the producers were pissed off that he would do it. Not like there were other choices for people to change the channel to in those days. But nowadays, anything you would say to suggest that there's reason to turn the station to something else, you'd get chastised for. He was basically saying, go ahead and turn off the TV. Go watch something else. Go do anything else. This thing's over.
Yeah, that would have been my I was really hoping you kind of maybe forgot about it. I probably should have picked it earlier. Because
I ain't that old.
I mean,
I'm old enough to remember it. I'm not old enough to forget it.
Well, I don't know. For a second there, you were filibustering and everything there. I was going, man, Mike's not prepared today. He's coming up with some BS pick here.
I'm fully prepared.
All right, I just want to make sure.
I sent all my picks last night.
Did you really? Damn, I don't ever send my picks the night before. There's no chance that's happening. But you not want to sing it for us? Like you're not even gonna. You're not even going to give us a turn out the lights, the party's over, and nothing? Okay, fine.
We'll do a duet. You want to do it?
No, I don't want it. I want a solo by you. That's what I want.
All right, fine.
Johnny Kiss, man. All right. All right, now I'm stuck. I feel like...
Speaking of not prepared.
Well, no, I have two ready to go. I want to pick Pat Summerall because he's on the board, but you're right. He has no catchphrase. But I am going to talk about him for a second anyways. I don't give a damn. All right? Pat Summerall, I do... Well, yeah, exactly. Can I use that? Like Matt Casey just said, touchdown. Like, to me, his catchphrase was the fact of he could call a play with the least amount of words in the history of announcing. It would be like, Montana, Rice, touchdown. I mean, I grew up with it. Simms, Bavaro, touchdown. So, and I wish I could do it. All right, I'm going to use that. Yeah, Pat Summerall, touchdown. I don't know. Screw off. It's my draft. I'm taking who I want. I'm going to do that. I know.
You could do whatever you want.
I know. I did think about, Bill King with the Raiders and Holy Toledo, right? That one. That's a really good one. And then I do think of my Gene Deckerhoff over down in Tampa Bay with Fire the Cannons. Like, that was two that I was going to go with if I didn't go with Pat Summerall, but I got to go with Summerall.
The one thing about Summerall, and Pete Demolitis is sending us the video link, and I encourage everyone to check it out. He turned his reads for the CBS primetime programming, specifically the program Murder, She Wrote, into theater with his pause between Murder She Wrote, because there's a comma after murder in the title to the show. So they did have fun in their own way.
Yeah.
And Summerall was just, former kicker who became one of the best, if not the best, play-by-play voices of all time.
Right.
And there's a price to be paid for chain smoking, but it does give you one hell of a voice.
One hell of a voice.
John Facenda, Pat Summerall, smoke those cigarettes because, man, it resonates, it's baritone, and it's memorable. And, Pat Summerall was the guy. I mean, that's the common link. Whether it was Tom Brookshire, John Madden, whoever, when it was Pat Summerall, that was a big deal.
Yeah. He lived to 83, too. Damn, I mean, that's good. You won. You get to the 80s, you win. So, I mean, smoked cigarettes, sounded awesome, and got to the 80s. Win for Pat Summerall. But, yeah, amazing. I mean, really. And his voice was like that in person, too. I could just, as a young kid, can still remember the few Saturday practices I was at, and Pat Summerall and John Madden walking around the field talking as the Giants were going through a walkthrough on those days, and I used to watch them more than I watched the Giants. And when Pat Summerall would say hi, you'd hear that voice, man, just amazing.
Last one for me, and this is not a national voice, but this is one of my few good friends in the business, Paul Allen, the catchphrase that I think it came from his horse racing. I know this. I've talked to him about it because he does horse racing in Minnesota. And he used it for Adrian Peterson when Adrian Peterson started to bust those 75-yard touchdown runs. And he's loose, and he yells it, and it is awesome. And he does it when he's confident he's not going to get caught, and that's it, and the guy's gone. And he still does it. I think he was going to try to retire it when Adrian Peterson left the Vikings, but he still uses it for the Vikings games when it's Dalvin Cook or whoever gets free. And he's loose. It could be a defensive return. It could be a kick return, whatever it is, and he's loose once he's loose.
Wow, you are just you kiss ass of a friend. I'll tell you. Look at you. Look at you. Unbelievable. Wearing a purple shirt, just showing total Vikings favoritism over here. That's what you're doing. Unbelievable.
You're the one that was talking about firing the cannons.
I know.
When you were in Tampa, they were firing the cannons at you.
Well, yeah, they were firing the cannon because I just threw a pick six, or I don't know. Yeah, you're right. They're getting this guy off the field.
That's why you threw the football into the cannon hole. That was your defense against the cannonball coming for your spleen.
That's right. Shut that damn thing up.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.